Welcome, Virgo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a reading for you under the influence of the lunar eclipse, which occurred a couple of days ago. And that puts an intense focus on our moon, on the experience of reflecting on our unconscious, including our subconscious and collective unconscious energies. The experiences we've had that are buried, that are beneath the surface, that we don't see often, but that trigger us and have an inordinate control over our conscious decisions, actions, words. If you are a moon in Virgo, this is going to have a particular resonance for you, hopefully. And if this reading doesn't resonate for you at all, please look for yourself in other placements where you will indeed find messages that resonate for you. The overall energy for this reading is the Three of Wings. This is the Three of Swords. And this is describing your coming to terms and a deeper understanding of the challenges that you faced in life, particularly the ways in which you gave your power away. And by that I mean offering love to those who didn't accept it. So this includes experiences of rejection, of a lack of acceptance, a lack of self-acceptance, a belief that others held something that you needed, others held the approval that you needed, or the love that you expected in return and never received. Overall, this shows me that you're trying to understand how and in what ways you have suffered. You're looking at the pain you've experienced critically and trying to get more information about that, including the ways in which you had a role to play in those experiences of disappointment, failure. Underneath the deck is the Death card. This is putting a beautiful finality to this understanding experiences of suffering and pain. You're really releasing this perception that others are to blame for the difficulties you've experienced, particularly for those of you that are in long-term relationships or have been in pursuit of that. Some of you have not been in pursuit of long-term relationships because of the amount of pain, challenge, resistance, or betrayal that you've experienced. So this feels as though you're releasing not only the suffering and the pain, but the sense of denial, of avoidance, of deep feeling as something that is not for you. So I'm going to pull a Seed and Sickle Oracle card to get us started here. And I pulled Mistletoe, came out on top, and it's number 48, which reduces to a 12. The Hanged One, the understanding and gaining higher perspective, the sacrifices we have to make in order to learn, to grow, to expand, but also the number 3, which is 12 reduced down to a single digit, which is the Empress, which makes you the beloved. So I do feel a greater transition here between loving, pursuing, looking for love, and recognizing that you, in fact, are being pursued. You, in fact, are the beloved, your beloved, the world's beloved, if not the beloved of those you sought to connect with. Mistletoe, you've been working hard lately and you might feel you're running out of energy. Mistletoe is a plant of community and promises. Take a moment to think about people who have offered you their support in the past. Have you taken them up on that offer? Favors are hard to come by and even harder to call upon, but now is the time to ask. Interesting. I like that. And this is shedding in some ways a little energy on the fact that perhaps some of those that you rejected or that you did not feel sufficient alignment or connection to, but you recognize some connection, some friendship, some opportunity to work or participate, to collaborate together. And there may be something or someone in that regard that you're now thinking about, that you're now considering, or considering something like that in order to help you build up a sense of friendship, connection with others that may not need to be sexual. In the 10th house, the 8 of Columns. This is the way others see you, the way you're socially identifying. You are receiving news, you're receiving invitations, you're receiving offers. Some of you are moving. Some of you are taking up a new job that is far afield from where you've been in the past. And it feels as though it has taken a long time, a great investment for you to begin to realize this range of opportunities and invitations that you're receiving. So although it feels quick, things happening, moving quickly, perhaps you have a short window in which to pack up and go and get set up. Whatever your circumstance, this feels largely positive, and that you are being ushered into a far greater or larger network community than you have experienced in the past. You've come to a place of culmination uh, through your hard work and your ability to be deeply connected in the realm of experience, your profession. In the first house, the 6 of Vessels. Capricorn received this card in the same, not Capricorn, Sagittarius received this card here. The 6 of Vessels is talking about a deep soul bond, a particular soul bond. And in some ways, I do feel like this is giving you an explicit message about a deep connection you made uh, that you let go of, that you never allowed to really realize or manifest itself. But this is a connection that you recognized as being something that felt completely outside of your experience, something that intimidated you, something that was hard to face, accept, or participate in some way. So I do feel like this bond was existed in previous lives. It has not been severed, and it may be well that the distance between you is part of the lesson of the soul bond. So particularly for those of you that have not encountered this depth of connection, or do not have this depth of partnership in your lives, perhaps this is some reconnection that you're making at this time. It also means, I think, that you were not ready in the past to honor the gift of this relationship, even in absence, even in distance, even if it's something that never fully developed in the material plane. This can be an acknowledgement that there was much shared, much experience between you and someone, because there were many lessons to learn, and part of the lessons could only be facilitated by distance. In the 4th house, the house of your soul, your family, your history, the Fool card. Yeah, this feels like a real emptying out of, for you in particular, I feel like it is this idea of suffering, of dragging the sadness with you. It may have something to do with your ability to partner in general. It may be in particular because of there's some kind of psychic residual resonance around a relationship that never came to fruition, one that you never really had the courage to step into, because it appears as though this relationship, even if you avoided it in some ways, appeared to be taking you into the unknown. It required something of you that you were not capable of putting forward, of establishing. This was taking you out of the realm of what you felt comfortable with, and would have catapulted you into a place that you are only now arriving to. And it feels as though a lot of clarity is coming to you about not just this connection, if it's a person or an opportunity, but why it was difficult to see it until now. This feels like it was a connection of a long time ago, and a lot of time has passed. And in some ways, this is indicating to me that this was almost a lifetime ago, or that this relationship has existed for lifetimes. In the seventh house, the house of your significant others, the Empress. It's interesting because I'm getting a kind of layered message about you emerging in your life as the beloved, not as the one to love or who loves others. And I don't feel like you lack in the experience of relationship in general or a particular role you've played in relationships. But the connection you're now experiencing, I believe, is one of your own deeper soul connection, your own connection to your dreams, your potential. As diligent as you are, I do feel that uh, it has been hard for you to receive love in some way. And that the connection I believe you're forging, it can be a relationship you're forging within that was triggered by this relationship in this connection in the past. Because I don't think this connection was really a relationship fully blown. I believe it was a spark that dissipated. And doesn't mean that you didn't have a friendship or some connection, but it never became what it was. And now you feel prepared to entertain the possibility of not only being loved, which I think is something that has been challenging for you because of your experiences in the past, but also of loving fully, of committing fully, and knowing that there's safety and security in that commitment, that there's balance and harmony, that there's negotiation, deep feeling, deep respect, deep acknowledgement of one another's independence and wholeness. If this reading does resonate for you, Virgo, please like this video, share it with others if you feel inclined to do so, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all the support that I get from all of you to grow my channel, and I don't take the time that you spend with me for granted, so thank you in advance for that. The Six of Vessels in the first house, the Six of Cups, is clarified by the Five of Pentacles. And the Two of Cups, wow, quite lovely. It feels to me like one or the other of you were on missions, perhaps both of you. And I'm speaking again about this spark connection. And it may be one that is reconnecting. It may be reconnecting in the form of another person. In other words, whatever this might have been, you have prepared yourself to entertain an opportunity like this now. And part of this has been a struggle because your relationships, I feel, have required so much responsibility and support from you. there's some way in which you assumed a role that you felt was the right role for you, and that seeing yourself in a relationship outside of a very traditional role was challenging. And that's part of the challenge in this initial connection that you made. This would have required the connection between two whole people in perhaps rather unconventional roles. Whatever way you two would have been likely to agree upon an arrangement, a partnership, was something that went against your idea of control, authority, tradition. And so, in many ways, you have were not willing to move outside of that traditional lane in confrontation with this particular partnership opportunity. But I do see you recognizing a similar opportunity now that does challenge your very traditional approach to relationships, work, your presence in the world, and your expectation that you be supported. And it's ironic because I don't believe you've had many of those kinds of relationships where you were supported. I believe it has usually been the case where you have supported others and not always received the reciprocity of love that you would have expected. In the fourth house, the Fool card is clarified by the Two of Wands and the Page of Wands. Yeah. This is really just describing, again, your lack of comfort with what is required to make not just a deep connection or relationship fruitful, but the places it might have taken you. Your lack of familiarity, your lack of comfort, your stepping into this kind of unknown was something in the past that you could not tender. It was just beyond you. And that is something that caused you to shrink back, perhaps to wait on the initiation of someone else or the other party to take the reins. And yet you knew that this person sparked this incredible passion in you. This was a passionate person, but they sparked that in you in a way that felt dangerous, lethal, more explosive than you could handle, potentially shattering you and taking you in a direction that you were fearful of, or that you didn't feel that you had the experience or knowledge to manage. In the seventh house, the relationships, significant ones, the Empress is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles and the Temperance card. Wow. So this beloved is someone who has worked really hard and who has worked very specifically at healing those challenges and obstacles, those internal triggers that have similarly prevented them from moving on or finding another appropriate relationship. There's something so special about the connection that you had that it is unlikely that it isn't that you can't find love again. It's unlikely that you're going to find someone who held as much potential promise for a productive life path that you could have built together, that you still could build together. This feels like someone who was independent, who is very productive, accomplished, has achieved something, but has had to feel a series of disappointments, perhaps not unlike you. This person has held on through incredible storms and catastrophes, I feel. And this person has never shrunk from the obligation to start again, start over, to build up, to keep working at that stability and security, which appears to have in some ways eluded them despite really incredibly powerful energy, a powerful presence. This is someone who is empowered, but in many ways does not feel worthy of the things that they were gifted and put upon the planet to accomplish. In the 10th house, the Eight of Columns, the Eight of Wands, is clarified by the Eight of Swords, another 8, and the King of Pentacles. So this is positive. This is very positive. I definitely feel like a potential connection because I do feel like you are moving yourself into a position that becomes a real match for, if not this same connection, then one quite similar. You're definitely preparing yourself to meet with someone who is also whole, who is also authentic, who is hardworking and disciplined. That feels key for you. But you are anxious, you're nervous, you feel like there's so much in your past that you have struggled to understand. And there's so much counterintuitive advisement that you are receiving. There's a bevy of advisors, supporters, colleagues, co-workers who have an opinion about what you should do, what you are doing, and although you are fully capable of exchanging and entertaining on an academic or intellectual level, that is not where you are at now. You're really still assessing and evaluating what can be delegated in your responsibilities and what you can release overall. There feels like a stronger focus on not simply your worthiness and deserving of all that you've achieved, which is considerable, but your ability and willingness to balance it with someone else who hasn't had the same success in life that you've had, but that you feel that together you have something special. You feel that this person could aid you in your work or that you can aid them, that there's some kind of mutual support that exists between you, in addition to this really powerful love that challenges your understanding of the way things should work, the way things are. I'm going to finish up this reading, Virgo, with a Yogic Path Oracle, and I've pulled the Tantra card. And I'm going to look that up in the guidebook because I am not familiar. And Tantra is the balance of masculine and feminine. How appropriate. You're expanding into liberation, moving past the dualistic mind that judges everything as right or wrong. You are headed to the greater truth that comes from integration. The structured masculine and flowing feminine within you are merging, allowing you to move toward infinite consciousness. The mature masculine within you creates presence, focus, stillness, and determination. The mature feminine within you results in creativity, flow, movement, sensuality, and nurturing. Both genders require a balance of these two energies. Continue to invite in all aspects of yourself, your light, your shadow, your Shakti, your Shiva, your cognition, your intuition. Thank you so much, Virgo, for this beautiful reading. If you're interested in more connections, more content, check out some here. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. And until next time, namaste.